Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everybody's well. I'm not too bad. The weather has decided to be wet, miserable and cold. So a lot of people around me are getting colds now. So I feel that I probably will have one very shortly as well. But that's all part of winter, I guess. For those who haven't realised, I'm actually in Australia. So it is coming up winter, or it is winter now. And as I said, our weather is winter weather. We don't usually get cold enough for snow, sort of in the where I live in the normal suburbs, but some of our mountain areas do get some snow. We do have a snow season and snow resorts, although I think they were complaining they don't actually have enough snow yet, so they're having to make snow. But the way it's going, it feels like the weather is quite cold. The wind's very cold. But anyway, that's Melbourne. We get very, very cold and very, very warm. And we seem to be getting less of the in-between weather, which is a shame. But never mind. I thought I would do an update on Passbooks. My last one I showed my travel one, which was almost full. It is now full. My last stamp was from Queensland, which I thought was a little funny really, because most of the rest of them were from America, most of them. And then the last one was an Australian one from Carol from Queensland, which is a lot warmer than Melbourne, but anyway. Okay, so that was my travel one. I did make another travel passbook. This one I made a little differently. I've actually put a spine in there so that it accommodates the chunkiness that they eventually end up with. And I've made a Bon Voyage stamp for myself to start off with, and there's a couple in there already. And I'll do a flick through a little while when it's finished. I've also nearly finished the fairy one. That one's nearly finished as well. There's a few more spaces in that one. My flower passbook is finished now, so I guess I'll be making another flower one shortly. This one, this stamp here, this is one I made myself. It's a mixed media one. It's got a jelly print as the base. There's some sewing around the edge and some stamping, and I've just put some little flowers on there. And there is a little bee nestled in the flowers there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that. It's quite small, but he's tucked away in the flowers there. And then I have this one here is from Lorna. Lorna is in Tasmania. Let's see if I can, there we go. This one is from Donna, who's in Tennessee, and she's painted that on a stamped background. This one's from Mary in Oregon, US, and she's got a stamped background and a stamp sticker with a three-dimensional sticker on the top there with it's a glittery sticker. And this one, Be Happy. This one is also from Mary. Some of them now we're actually swapping 3 stamps each, basically because the postage to America or overseas, it's just the same price to send 1 stamp as to send 3 stamps. So quite often now we're swapping 3, which is good because my books are getting fuller quicker. This one is from Becky in Ohio, and she's used some fluoro paper with some die cuts on a black background. Very effective. This one's Betty in Florida, and she's got a stamped background. It's a bit hard to see, and some layered die cut there. And it says Joy and Happiness. And Betty again. And again, stamped background or stamped image and coloured. It looks like pencil. colour pencil. And the next one is from Lisa in New York, in the US. And she has an embossed background here with some stamping. There's a little sticker here. And this is like an embroidery patch that you can buy and put on. And there's also some washi tape, I think it is. This one is from Pat in Pennsylvania. Pat actually has her own YouTube channel as well. Her name, it's Pat Kuhn. It's P-A-T and then K-U-H-N. And as I said, she has her own YouTube channel and does some, I think she also shows some passbooks in hers as well. Sarah in Missouri, the US. And this one's got lots of glitter and some hand-painted pansies from a stamped image. And Angela in Georgia, the US. This one is some paper layering on the background. They look like she's handwritten those, and it's a layered sticker with some glitter. And Lucky Last is also Angela again, so this was obviously a part of a 3 swap. And again, background, she's got some rickrack there that looks like she's hand sewn that on, and another little layered sticker. So that's very cute. Okay, so that is my flower passbook, which is now finished. And as I said, I will probably make another flowered one. I have also made a vintage passbook because I did receive a couple of vintage ones, vintage stamps. This one is just an old book page with, I think I used distress ink on that. And I also used the distress ink on some lace, crocheted lace, and just a little image. This one I also did the wider spine. This one I actually put 2 signatures in it as well. Just, I guess, experimenting to see which one is better for holding the bulkiness of the stamps. I also tea-dyed the paper for this one to give it sort of a more vintage feel. I've also made a vintage one to put in myself. That was a vintage image on some background, just scrapbook paper, a little bit of the crocheted lace, and I did some stitching around there. My sewing machine doesn't really like sewing on the paper and card, though, I've discovered. So I do what I can. And there's a couple in there which I'll show when I do a flip through. The other thing I was going to show is just some of the stamps that I've actually made for my next sort of round of swapping. What I tend to do is I make a bunch over a week or 2 weeks whenever I've got a spare bit of time, and then I'll put them all up on our Facebook group and hope that some people would like to swap with me. So this one I did a series of musical instruments that were stickers. They were puffy stickers. But I thought they looked particularly good. I've put them onto an old music page with some distress ink and some other stamping on there as well. So quite simple. They didn't actually take very long to make at all, these ones, but I thought they actually looked really quite effective. In fact, I think it took me longer to cut the little sentiments out and stick them on than it did to actually make the cards. So that's those particular ones. So these will be put on my Facebook page shortly. I was experimenting with napkins on card, and these ones were all made from napkins. And you can see what I've done is I used gel medium and attached the napkin. I've done some stamping over the top. Just a quick border with a gel pen, and I've put a 3-dimensional butterfly on as well, just to add a little dimension to it. So they've come out quite effective, I thought. There was a series of those, This was also experimenting with a napkin that had the image of this girl sitting on the front of a car, which I thought was quite cute. So that was just, these were actually made from tags too. I have a whole stack of these craft tags that I thought I would use up. So she was gel mediumed on, I guess, and I've just stamped around the edges with different border stamps, a little bit of stamping on them. So those two, which I thought were quite cute. This one, again, another napkin as well, with a vintage image from an old Tim Holtz pack I had, and just a little flower for embellishment, and just a rough border around there. These ones here were actually hand painted from watercolours. They were, oh, there's another butterfly as well. These ones were inspired from Bella Rose Creative, who's on YouTube as well. She did a journal page, I think it was, quite some time ago now, but I've actually used the same technique on quite a few things since. I've done a couple of birthday cards. I did myself a journal page as well, and I've now done the little stamps, and all it is really is some watercolour dots, I guess, or splotches, with a little bit of a gel pen sort of edging around them, and a little bit of detail with the watercolours. So they're kind of really cute. I really like that particular image. So I've made a series of those too, and as I said, I'll put those on my Facebook page shortly. That's all I've got to show for today. Thank you very much for watching. And again, if you are interested in doing some swapping, there is some information on Lollipalooza's YouTube channel. You can also send me a message and I can forward on some information as well. That's about it today, I think. Thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.